What up? It's your boy Dave B. Welcome to another episode within the Esoteric Hustler Academy. You already know what we do here. So right now we're gonna do the business transit, house transit reading for Taurus Ascendants and things of that nature. So for the most part, how these work, if you haven't seen the collective video, basically I'm gonna be focusing on your second house, your sixth house, and your 10th house, because these are the business houses and shit like that. So I'll be doing a deep dive into these houses and how they relate in your chart, just kind of talking about the different energies going on, and then I'm gonna pull cards. Basically, these gonna be four cards. I don't know why I said it like that. Chords. 4 cards correlated to 4 cards correlated to the second, sixth, 10th, and then we're gonna do a conclusion card at the end. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be, since this is a house transit reading, basically it's gonna be looking at house lords. And if you don't know about house lords, basically what you do is, like, so for instance, you take the sign and that ruling planet and you find where that planet is in your chart, and basically you take the energy of where the planet is and you incorporate it into the house that you're looking at, as far as trying to find a house lord. So that's just an example. You being the Taurus Ascendant, your first house being Taurus, the house lord of that would be Venus. So wherever Venus is at in your chart, let's say it's in Scorpio, so it's in the 7th house. So basically it would be you finding where Venus is, which is the 7th house for you, like just as an example, and then incorporating that energy, that 7th house energy, into your first house. So this is like making your personal type shit more relatable, you know what I'm saying? Making that something that you talk about in a more relatable manner, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? That's just, to get you familiar with how to work with house lords and things of that nature. So we're gonna dive right in. So with the astrology and things of that nature. So your second house should be Gemini, right? Now keep it to account, based upon the degree of your ascendant and things of that nature, it might be slightly off. So to combat this, you could just watch other videos that correlate with the proper house placement. So even though you might be a Taurus rising, right, there's going to be gems in here that you probably will resonate with. But then, you know what I'm saying, say your actual second house isn't Gemini, though, it's like, I don't know what it would be. Maybe Cancer or Leo, whatever, whichever one it is. No. Yeah, Cancer or Taurus, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you could just kind of, like, you know what I'm saying, go to the other video where the second house would be Taurus, and then kind of go with that, you know what I'm saying? I think that video would be the Aries video for you. So the video before, if you're, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying, if you try to get to the bottom of that, you could do that and kind of mix and match and see what's going on. So for the most part, you got the North Node in your second house right now. So that's off the bat valuing your spiritual path. So, this can get very tricky, you know what I'm saying? Or not tricky, but just very scary, you know what I'm saying? Very scary. Not that it's something to be scared of, but it's just uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? North Node energy is always going to make you highly uncomfortable. So, getting comfortable with uncomfortability has basically been your biggest thing. And then off the bat, like, your rising being Taurus, you got Uranus in the first house. So this is radical changes when it comes to your personal people, places, and things in your life in general. So, y'all already been going through a lot as far as just dealing with things kind of moving at a faster pace than you're probably the most comfortable with. Of course, depending on your signs, you might be able to get with it better, but for the most part, just having Uranus in your first house, that's directly affecting your personal life and things going on. And then the North Node kind of chilling in your second house. This is you going through different experiences that you just gotta learn how to value. Like, you gotta learn how to value the uncomfortability type shit, for the most part. Your second house lord is in the 6th house, so working on your values, you know what I'm saying? The 6th house being the Virgo type energy, working on your values, working on the things that you value, and figuring out ways that you can utilize this to ultimately help with that Uranus and Taurus energy. Because with that Uranus and Taurus energy, it hits y'all differently, because, right now, no matter where Taurus is at, it's affecting our security on a, I want to say, a global level, you know what I'm saying? Just because we live in an environment where, it's like, if we're looking at things that correlate to Taurus energy, Virgo energy, and Capricorn energy, this is like the earthly type shit. So this deals with reality. head on. So, and stability and security, that's the Taurus energy, is stability and security. So all of our security levels are being drastically changed. So that being in your first house is like, you know, in general, you know what I'm saying? It's just like these very drastic changes that you got to take into account, and you probably been going through, probably don't know what the fuck is going on, but you know what I'm saying? That's what we hear. So, you know, this is a business reading. So to get back to the business and things of that nature. So, you know, with the second house lord in the sixth house, whatever it is that you're utilizing to initiate this new level of security in your life, aka like the seeds that you're planting now, basically you want to make sure these are organized. You want to make sure that you have a plan and that you can put the things that you value on a routine and schedule. So whether that be like, say you're a musician and things of that nature, like if that's your gift, then you need to be finding ways you can put this into a routine and pattern to make it something that you can actually plant a seed in, and like, you know what I'm saying, grow and nurture that seed to be something that you can stand on later, aka that second house principle, being fixated earth, you know, something that you can settle in, or settle on, you know what I'm saying, stand on, and it'll be sturdy enough for you to support you, you know what I'm saying, aka that Venus type energy support. So going on into your sixth house, you got Libra there, 9 times out of 10. So with your sixth house having Libra there, the sixth house lord for you is going to be in your eighth house. So when it comes to what you need to organize in your life, or what needs to be on schedule, is the things you do behind closed doors. So also deep passionate things, you know what I'm saying, because we're talking about, and also just something to keep in mind with the house lords, it's not so much like the planets, where with the planets in a certain area, it's almost like you gotta kind of abide by that. With the house lords, it's more so something that's an option as far as an enhancement to doing whatever you're doing, maximizing on the energy. So taking the energy and kind of seeing how far you can go with it type shit, you know what I'm saying? Where if a planet is in a certain house, then it's like, for you, it's more like you got to address that. House lord is more like something that you can utilize to your benefit, you know what I'm saying? Something that you can add on. Now, there's a positive and negative to everything, but for the most part, it's always going to play out as something that's kind of going towards an enhancement of that energy. So when it comes to your sixth house type things, the things that you're working on and things of that nature, you want to make sure you're doing this behind closed doors. Don't let too many people know what you're working on or what you're organizing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just keep it real. And that might be a little difficult for you, because you being a sixth house Libra, that's probably what you want to talk about all the time, is what you're working on. But a lot of times you'll start to see that the people that you're working with might not have your best interests at heart, you know what I'm saying? Just different things of that nature. It's like you get real dicey, you know what I'm saying? Get real dicey when, you know, you talking about just discussing your at this time period, because normally it wouldn't be that much of a big deal, but just like I said, with the house lords being an enhancement, it's something to keep in mind, is that during this time period, it's like you'll be able to benefit more from keeping certain things behind closed doors when it comes to what you're working on. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that's for you, and you can develop your deep passion about that without anybody else prying their eyes on it, you know what I'm saying? So you can really get a full grasp of it. And it kind of goes along with your second house being having that lord in the sixth house, because that's what it is that you're probably that you need to be working on for the most part, is working on the things that you value. And you want to make sure that these things is like something that you kind of keep in the tuck, and yeah, keep behind closed doors, because the last thing you want to do is give somebody too much information and now they trying to do the same thing you doing, or they're coming up with ideas in their mind that esoterically go against your ideas, just by them having their own perspective and kind of judging where you're at. Like, I wouldn't do that, or I would do that. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying, type shit. But yeah, now going on to your 10th house, you got Aquarius here. So let's talk about the planets here. You got Saturn here and you got Jupiter here. So Saturn in the 10th house, it loves to be there. So right now it is prime time for business. You know what I'm saying? It's the perfect time to initiate whatever it is that you have been working on, and initiating a form of structure around it, and things of that nature. And then going through the experiences, because you also got Jupiter here. So going through the experiences, but also the 10th house is what we should broadcast. So when it comes to your business, broadcasting your sense of structure, broadcasting your experiences as well, and your wisdom and knowledge when it comes to what it is that you're trying to be known for. So in a sense, like whatever business it is that you do, you want to get as knowledgeable on it as possible by going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best way. But any way that you see fit, because chances are you're going through whatever you're going through and you're piecing together what makes sense for you. So when it comes to it, Jupiter just is looking at, Jupiter is our experiences in general. And Saturn is how we structure ourselves in reality. So, you know, even broadcasting the reality of your situation, broadcasting the reality of your experiences, that's good content ideas for, you know, depending on what you do. I just got that message as far as like content ideas is like, you know, creating a vlog where you're talking about the reality of your experience at the moment for whatever, you know, specifically if you're more so like an artist where those things, but even if you like, as far as like what you choose to do as a business, like of course if you selling an actual product and things of that nature, you can still do vlogs for that, you know what I'm saying, on your page and stuff like that. People interacting with like people, like say you make, like for instance, shout out to Xavier, these tarot cards and shit like that, like being able to broadcast people physically using your cards and going through an experience with something physical, like simple shit like that. Like that's how you can kind of get creative with different ideas to do as far as content and things of that nature. But like I said, 10th house is all about what you should be broadcasting at the moment. So with Saturn and Jupiter there, just broadcasting a form of reality or structuring yourself to where, like I was saying in earlier, initiating a form of structure when it comes to the things that you want to be known for. So if it's something that you've been working on behind closed doors and kind of like building up towards, making sure that, okay, you taking the time to structure that out in your mind. And so that by the time it does come time for you to present that, you'll already be in a position where you'll have that Jupiter aspect helping you, where you're actually wise on whatever it is that you're broadcasting and things of that nature. So, you know, that's how that could play out for the most part. So now we're going to pull the cards and things and do all that, do all the things, we're going to do all the things. Let's see what's up. Your second house, we're going to start with that. So that's what you should be valuing at the moment. So, you know, all right, off the bat, paying attention to emotions. So that's what you should be doing right now. It's like how you feel about certain things. Like, so this is a water card. So, and the 6 is all about paying attention to things. So, for the most part, just paying attention to how you feel about what it is that you value, and kind of following your intuition. Like I was just saying, your North Node, the North Node is transiting your second house at the moment in general. So you're already kind of been tapped into like having to kind of be mindful of different urges that's, you know what I'm saying, different urges taking you in different places. Like you already kind of had to be tapped into that, because that North Node energy kind of play out like that, where you'll get certain urges to just kind of like go off on your own spiritual path. And so off the bat, that's already tapping you into intuition, because that deals with energies that's, you know, tapping into kind of past life references, and then those past life references play out as you in the present, kind of seeing, okay, I felt like I've been doing that. I'm tired of doing that shit. I'm trying to do something new. And, you know, if you've been planting good seeds, you've been learning how to value the desire to do some new shit, to do something that you haven't experienced yet, to go into uncharted, unexplored territories. You know what I'm saying? And that's all the North Node is, really diving you into those uncomfortable situations that, you know what I'm saying, push you into a new space as a spirit. So paying attention to your feelings and how these things make you feel will help guide you kind of on whether or not you in the right space or not. Because if it don't feel right on some level, something's not correlating. And like in the past, we've been able to kind of get away with doing a bunch of shit we didn't feel like doing, but we get into a time where that don't work no more. It's like, it's got to be authentic, and it's got to be something that you can feel comfortable with. Like, we just in a time where, I don't know, that's not the same anymore. I feel like previous generations could get away with doing a bunch of shit that they truly didn't resonate with on an internal level. But our, you know what I'm saying, our generations after, like, we just not buying that shit. So right now, you know, paying attention to your feelings, and then of course the second lord in the sixth house, so organizing these feelings as well. You know what I'm saying? Sixth energy, that's the Virgo energy in and of itself. And even though since this is a water sign, organizing your feelings on what it is that you value, so that you won't be easily swayed during moments of high uncomfortability or unfamiliarity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like to do familiar shit, but when it come down to it, that familiar shit ain't gonna get you anywhere if you not actually, it's not gonna get you anywhere. It's gonna keep you stagnant and things of that nature. So that's what you need to be valuing at the moment, your ability to do that. And when it comes to your business, you know what I'm saying, how you feel about what you're doing. So let's jump into the sixth, talk about what you need to organize or criticize when it comes to your business. The Taurus Ascendants. Boom, pop right out. So another water card, and it's the king. And now the king represents giving grand support. So maybe whether it's, I feel like it's being, I feel like it's being mindful of what you give grand emotional support to. So like, it's kind of like goes along with your state of being type shit. So based upon what you're getting involved with, how you feel about it, right? It's like, are you giving the right emotional support to the right things? Because you can on a, on a negative end, you could be giving grand support to an emotion or a feeling that's not going towards you actually succeeding in whatever it is that you're trying to work on. So it's like, since this is the card of like what we need to criticize or organize what you're giving your grand support to when it comes to your emotions, like what you're actually pouring your emotions into. Are you pouring these into things that's actually going to get you, that's going to support you back? You know what I'm saying? Feelings and emotions that's going to support you back, support you succeeding? Or are you going to give your grand support, your grand emotion to different things that's going to hold you back? Like, so feeling like you can't do something, or feeling like you gotta, you know, soak in doubt and shit like that. So making sure you just mindful of what you're giving your grand support to when it comes to your emotions. Like, what are you giving your emotions to? Are you giving them to things that's going to get you in the right area or not? You know what I'm saying? So correlating to the business aspect, making sure that you just being critical on what you're giving your emotions to. You know what I'm saying? Being like, okay, even if you're going through something that's highly uncomfortable, knowing, okay, I'm a create a feeling for myself that's gonna give back to me, because ultimately, like the king is just giving grand support to something. So if you're giving grand support to something that, you know, it's gonna blow up in your face if you not, because you always gonna get, that's how manifestations work. You always gonna get what you give. So being that this is a giving type card and it's dealing with your feelings, if you're giving feelings to the wrong areas in your life, or the wrong things, or if you're giving attention to the wrong feelings or giving grand support to the wrong feelings, then those feelings are gonna come back to haunt you. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Whatever you're feeling at the moment, you wanna make sure you organizing that in a way that is going towards something positive, even if you're going through all these uncomfortable situations. Like I said in the first one, in the second house, it's valuing these uncomfortable situations and being willing to go through them, and knowing that, you know, just knowing where you're going with it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about the 10th house and the action you should take. This shit already popped out, and it's the starting point. So the action you need to take is making sure you have a sturdy enough starting point. So when it comes to it, when it comes to your 10th house energies, that's what it's about. So basically, it's like paying attention to what you're feeling, right? And those feelings is going to give you maybe like a lot of uncomfortable feelings, because chances are it's going to be these uncomfortable situations that you got to learn how to value, and you got to organize these things. And then behind closed doors, you want to make sure that you're working on, because you want to make sure that you're working on, because it's the 6th house principle. So making sure that you're working on giving grand support to better feelings, not grand support to feelings that's going to keep you trapped. And then as far as what you need to take action on is developing a sturdy starting point for what it is that you're about to embark on. So you know you're about to do something different. You know because Uranus in your 1st house. That's all this year been about, this year and last year. And Uranus staying there for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? The next couple of years, it's all about a new structure. You already been going through the changes. So you at a time right now where you got to come up with a new starting point, a starting point that supports the proper feelings about this uncomfortable energy that you're about to go through, or that you already been going through, because this is happening currently. So, you know, when it comes to your business, making sure that you taking action on creating a sturdy starting point. And then you got Jupiter and Saturn there. So like I was just talking about, in general, like initiating a new structure, but something that you actually experience so that you can have wisdom on it. So also the other side of Jupiter is going through stuff and stumbling through it. Sometimes you got to stumble through things, and like probably being a Taurus Ascendant, you don't like to stumble probably. You know what I'm saying? You like to kind of be able to predict what you're going into and feel comfortable and secure that you're able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tauruses do work hard, but at the same time, it's got to make sense for you. And you want to, you know what I'm saying? You're not just trying to jump into new shit all the time. So, you know, recklessly, you know what I'm saying? That Jupiter energy sometimes could be like, that's that Sagittarius shit and that Pisces shit, where sometimes they just jump in and they got to clunk around for a while, but somehow, some way, they find a way to swim. They find a way to, you know, get with it, because they go through the experience and they end up learning a lot more faster. But when you more like the Taurus rising, you might want to piece something out, figure it out before you even think about diving into it. That way it's a smooth transition. But, you know, this is a time period in your life where that might not be the best case. Still, you know what I'm saying? Still make sure you know the practical matters. Still make sure you know the practical matters, you know what I'm saying? Because this is still a earth sign. This is an earth card, but that's good for you, because that means that you're doing all this emotional shit to make sure that you can have a sturdy enough starting point from a practical standpoint. You know what I'm saying? That way, because nothing's gonna go right if the emotional energies behind it ain't right. So these are just kind of like reminding you to pay attention to how you feeling, give grand support to the right feelings, and then create that starting point. And then that'll have a lot more distance to travel. It'll be able to travel a lot farther, because it'll have the right fuel behind it, because that water energy like fuel type shit for your ideas. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get a conclusion real quick. See what's going on. Okay. So this is the conclusion. So this is the Queen of Fire. So the Queen is representing the receiving of a grand support, and it's in fire. So this is like receiving inspiration or receiving a vision. So receiving something grand, like a grand support of a vision. So, or people supporting your vision. So because you got the right feelings behind your new starting point, and it's from a practical aspect, in conclusion, you'll be able to either receive a vision that you can now take the distance of going somewhere, or other people will be able to see your vision within your starting point. They'll be able to better connect to it, because now it has that water energy into it, but they can support it, because now it's like how they're seeing it is like you having a new sense of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Or they're willing to give you their passion to inspire, you know what I'm saying? Like type shit, where it kind of works synonymously. So synonymous? or simultaneous. Hey, either way, fuck this word, fuck these words. But y'all know what I mean. But real shit, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. So yeah, like go, like, you know what I'm saying? This the type of shit I feel like just let you know, just go for it. You know what I'm saying? And like the better you can manage these uncomfortable ass, yeah, you know, my shit cut off. But better you can, you know, just manage those uncomfortable feelings and shit like that, is the stronger starting point you'll have. And you know what I'm saying? There's something out of that you gonna be able to receive. Because it's like receiving energy, and it's going to give you that extra boost to go that extra mile and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, that's all I had to say. I just want to make sure it was concluded and all that. So, much love, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.